Interface, it forms as a contract for what a class must implement. Only the required information or the piece of code will be shown. So this purpose or this method, we call it as a data abstraction. Abstract class cannot be instantiated, okay, but it can only be created. Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the second session of second unit that's under .NET and C# programming. That's a third sem subject. So yes, I have to say like this is updated syllabus and it's according to the SEP scheme which is under University of Mysuru. Alright, over here my name is Deepa Kutnikar. I'm working as an assistant professor at the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So let's move forward and see what are the topics that we have discussed in our unit 2. Yes, absolutely, like we have completed these things in our session 1. We did also discuss like what are different classes, methods, as well as the destructors. What is a destructor? What is a constructor? And we also did discuss what is inheritance and different types of inheritance, then followed by method overloading, method overriding, as well as operator overloading and all. So these are with respect to session 1. So do you want to understand these things? Yes, absolutely. Then you have to go and watch the session 1 video. Now let's move forward and understand like what we are discussing over here in today's session. So this is all about today's session where we'll be understanding like what are the different abstract classes, abstract methods, sealed classes, sealed methods. Also we'll be discussing the interfaces, like what is an interface that we use in C#, and also we'll be learning like abstract class, that's interface. So this is all about today's session. Now let's see like what is exactly the data abstraction with C#. Yes, absolutely. Data abstraction is one of the important principles when we consider object-oriented programming. And data abstraction means like over here by using this data abstraction, we will be only showing the required information and we will be completely hiding the information, which is that information that's none other than the implementation information. So the complex implementation set of information, what is there, all will be hidden, okay? Only the required information or the piece of code will be shown. So this purpose or this method, we call it as a data abstraction. All right, so over here, let's see here, this approach, it simplifies us. What's the use of data abstraction? Yes, it's none other than it simplifies the objects and promotes code reusability as well as maintainability. So these are the factors which are noted when we speak with respect to data abstraction. Now, let's see how this data abstraction is achieved. Yes, absolutely. Data abstraction is achieved via the abstract classes. We can also say by using interfaces as well as the encapsulation. So yes, by using any one of these things, we can obtain the data abstraction. Yes, over here, we have a nice line with respect to data abstraction. So we can say data abstraction, it only focuses on what an object does, but it doesn't focus on how it does and anything, okay? So this is about the data abstraction. Now let's see in depth like abstract classes and methods, okay? So yes, moving forward after understanding like data abstraction, we have understood like by using data abstraction, we can increase the readability as well as the maintainability of the course, correct? So it's now important to see like how to achieve that. So yes, we can achieve that by using classes and methods. So over here, we can create direct objects of it. So we can say it or the abstract classes or the method forms as a blueprint, okay? So yes, this has to be noted. It forms as a blueprint or a template for other classes, providing common structure, correct, right? It acts as a blueprint, means it will give you a structure like how the things has to work, followed by potentially some concrete implementations. So this is about the abstract class and methods. So we can say abstract class cannot be instantiated, okay, but it can only be created. Many contain abstract and concrete methods. Yeah. Now let's see a simple syntax for this. So we are calling a class, that's an abstract class, a shape, and we can see here we are making it public by using public abstract void. Yes. So the shape has to be what? It has to be drawn, correct? So we are defining draw, and yes, we are going with one more class which will be continuing to follow this abstract, the first abstract class, okay, which acts as a blueprint for the second one. So over here we can see class circle, shape. So it is following the same set, but only it is redefining what has to be changed or updated. So yes, public override void draw. Okay, so we are overriding the abstract. That's the use of this abstract class and the abstract method. Sealed classes and methods. Sealed classes and methods are the language features that are designed to control the inheritance as well as a method overriding. Please note that it is being designed to prevent method overriding as well as follow the inheritance. So we can say it is primarily found in OOP, which is nothing but object-oriented programming language. Now, as we have understood like what is sealed class and method, now let's understand the purpose of this. So yes, by using this, it prevents the further inheritance or overriding. All right. So now let's see. It is very useful for security and optimization of the code. Yes, how to achieve that? By using the sealed class. Any example we can define and followed by class B is to A. So this is like we are defining a primary class followed by a sealed class, that's class B is to A. So this is how we'll be creating a sealed class and a method. Moving forward, let's understand what are interfaces in C#. Interface, it forms as a contract for what a class must implement. Okay, so yes, it will be saying like what the class has to implement, what is the use of that line of code and all the things. Followed by it supports multiple inheritance indirectly. So it won't support the inheritance directly, but yes, it supports the multiple inheritance. So let's see a block of code. Over here, we are defining interface, some interface. We are calling or defining a function with a shape, and we are doing a void draw followed by class circle, that's for I shape, as well as the public void draw. So this is a subclass which is formed by the interface. Okay, so this is how we can write or start writing a similar set of block of code in order to define the interface. Now, as we did understand like what is an interface, let's understand like how we can extend the interface as well as how we can implement the interface too. So yes, one interface can extend another. Then we can also say a class can implement multiple interfaces. So let's see how it is done. So we are defining a class with iPrintable. All right. So now the second interface for scanning. So iScanner. So in this way, we can use multiple inheritances. All right. So we can see here what is there in iPrintable. It is a class of printer which we are assigning. Okay. So this is the extending the interfaces. Now we can say it ensures separation of concerns. Absolutely right. When we define it in a proper way, like yes, this is a part and this part of interface I'm utilizing for printer and this part of the cables I'm utilizing for scanner, and yes, this is how we can define. Until now, we did understood like what is an abstract class, what is its purpose, and then we also did understood like what is an interface and yes, how to extend the interface and all. Now, it becomes important like to understand what is the difference between this abstract class as well as the interface. So that's here the classification of the difference between abstract class and interface. The first feature is inheritance. The inheritance that can be utilized for abstract class, it's a single inheritance, and the inheritance that's used for interface is a multiple inheritance. Then followed by members. Absolutely, over here the members will be some fields, methods, and over there in the interfaces only the methods, no fields are utilized, because over there we are working with a physical parameters too. Okay, so now with the access modifiers, the access modifiers is required for our abstract class and it is not required for our interface. Next is a constructor. Yes, definitely constructor is used for abstract class and it is not at all used for interface. Next is instantiation. Instantiation is not at all allowed with respect to the abstract classes, as well as it is not allowed for interface. So this is all about the various difference between the abstract class as well as the interface. Thank you so much. So this was all about the unit 2. We have completed 2 sessions with our unit 2. And yes, all the very best for your first internals. Meet you up in the next session, that's for 3rd unit. Until then, thank you so much and all the very best for your internals. Thank you.